nervous as a player. Right? You're more relaxed. Self-confidence goes up. Okay? If that happens, this kind of environment, mastery gives our players a feeling of what? It's true. I'm looking for another word. It's the most important thing, perhaps, for an athlete, for them to develop.
Courage.
Courage. All good ones. Okay? Here's control. Okay? Control. You're going to say that, I know. All right. Why control them? Why control? Why is that so important?
Staying calm. Staying in control of your feelings, of your actions when you're out there playing in pressure situations.
This really carries over to all aspects of your life. If you're working at your job and you feel you have no control over how you are evaluated, is that an incentive to do better? Is that an incentive to work harder? For a player, if you feel you're in control with your success, and you can do it by things like working harder, sticking with it longer. For a player, what might that mean? One of your players.
Better results.
Better results. But what might that mean as far as their practice habits and what they're doing?
Showing up early and leaving late.
Showing up early, leaving late. Anything else?
Working really hard.
Working really hard at it. What else?
Practicing on their own.
Practicing on their own. If it didn't matter whatever you did, maybe you want to practice batting, you go home, you've got wiffle balls, your dad or your neighbor or somebody's going to throw some soft toss to you or something. Why do that if you don't know? It doesn't really matter. My coach is going to evaluate whether we win or lose. But if you think that's going to be the key to your success and how your coach evaluates it, how your team evaluates it, then you will work harder and stick to it longer. All excellent things. All right. So, I'm going to use a different scenario here, but the same idea. Jesse hangs his head every time he misses a shot and as a result doesn't get back on defense. Okay? Let me give you a baseball example. Let's use the pitcher. If he walks a batter, starts to fall apart. Okay? Hangs his head, and oftentimes you see game tanks. Okay? Maybe loses composure. What would be your advice? What would be your strategy to deal with this player of yours? Okay? I want you to go with a partner again, but go with somebody different. Somebody different. Do somebody different, giving you just, maybe a minute, minute and a half. Go ahead, find somebody else.
Scenario he's given us, right? I would just tell him, calm down, take a deep breath, encourage him, tell him that it's something in a game. We all mess up. We're all going to have opportunities. Forget about that. Not too much else to say. You're tired. I'm in the majors, nationals and majors.
You got 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Just throw the ball over there. That's a ball over there. Throw strikes. Don't try to throw the ball hard. No strikes.
How's your team looking? Good?
You got it.
All right, we good? We good? We got at least a few ideas out there? All right, let's roll here. Somebody be a spokesperson for your group.
I think it's 7, 8, yeah.
Be a spokesperson for your group. What can you do? What can you do?
Just tell them to calm down, relax, and take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath. Calm down. Okay. Good. What else?
Everybody makes a mistake. Try harder next time and just focus on what you're doing.
Okay. acknowledge that everybody makes mistakes.
I think it's all about putting the right perspective with these guys, you know what I mean? It's not considering being in the World Series, you know what I mean? It's also those moments where you know, everyone's got all the eyes on you, you know what I mean? Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing for you? You know, you got to put things in perspective for them.
You gotta relax, you don't want to put the...
If I told you, you just relax.
Just relax.
Just calm down, will you?
My wife loves that when I tell her that.
I learned something at this workshop. What else?
Even the best pitcher in baseball walks batters.
That's true.
Perspective.
Perspective on it. Good. What else?
Strategy that's behind you.
Everybody's behind you, right? We're in this together. Okay? Anything else?
I don't know that base runner doesn't mean anything because you have the batter to face there, and you're ultimately in control of what happens. So just focus on that next batter. Don't worry about walking them and get the next guy.
I think these are all really excellent. They're all excellent. One thing I'd say, the environment that you have on your team going into this situation is really important. Because when a fire happens, you say, hey, it's not that big a deal. Well, that might be true, it might help. But for some other people, it's a little bit too late. So if this is the environment that you always have with your team, then you probably have a better chance of the right words in the right way making sense. I'd like you to turn in your book to page 23. This is a section in your book, and we've been talking about the Elm Tree of Mastery, right? Effort, learning, and mistakes are okay. And there's a section here of information on this topic. On page 23, you'll see there's a section on mistake rituals. So you don't have to read through that, but let's talk through it a little bit. Anybody ever used a mistake ritual or seen it? Mistake ritual? Anyone seen one?
Like flush it.
Flush it, okay. You've seen it or you've heard it at a workshop before? Or
I've seen it in the game.
you've seen it in the game?
Flush it or racket. I heard that one too.
Racket?
Yeah.
That's good. What does that mean?
Racket?
Or flush it? Let's stick with flush it. I'm afraid to go wherever that might be.
Yeah. So flush it basically, you basically forget about it.
Forget about it.
It's gone.
Forget about it. Flush it. Have you ever seen that? Think about it. There are professional athletes and some college athletes too. There's a lot of money spent on sports psychology. One of the things that you'll almost always see, or you'll find out if you're in that realm, is that they train the athletes to have a mistake ritual. Almost all of them have it. Or just a way to even reset after a play. In baseball, it's easy to see because there's a stop after a play. Can you think of anything else? What does a flush mean? It means to leave it behind, acknowledging it's a mistake made, it's okay, and it's over. This comes from a number of sources in a lot of different ways, but the first time I think was one of the Positive Coaching Alliance trainers, basketball coach at Indiana College. And it's been used by a lot of different groups, a lot of youth teams. The Cal State Fullerton men's baseball team, when they won the World Series, used that. And you see them after an error or mistake in the field. The player did it, Mike did it. Maybe you see a coach or other players, teammates, do the same thing, saying, hey, mistake, it's over. We flushed the mistake, it's out of our mind, we're on to the next play. What other things do you think, what other rituals do you see? And I see them in baseball all the time.
Dirt, throw it.
Some dirt, pick up some dirt, throw it. Derek Jeter. Exactly. Anything else in baseball?
The guy pounding his helmet with the bat after he's swinging that pitch or something.
I don't know if that mistake ritual is safe. I don't know. I wouldn't teach that to kids, but that's an example maybe of a mistake ritual. What else? You see batters. The batter's box.
Yes, with the batting gloves.
Yeah.
Resetting.
Resetting, right? Okay. A pitcher stepping off the mound, okay? Taking off their hat, and taking a deep breath, putting their hat back on. What does that mean?
They're turning the switch on.
Right, okay?